As they neared the boy's home, the Jedi reached beneath his poncho and produced a leather pouch filled with credits. "These are yours," he announced. "I sold the pod." He pursed his lips. "To a particularly surly and rather insistent Doug." Anakin accepted the bag, grinning broadly, the fight and its cause forgotten. He ran up the steps to his door and burst through, Qui-Gon following silently. "Mom! Mom!" he cried out as she appeared to greet him. "Guess what? Qui-Gon sold the pod! Look at all the money we have!" He produced the leather pouch and dropped it into her hands, enjoying the startled look on her face. "Oh, my goodness," she breathed softly, staring down at the bulging pouch. "Annie, that's wonderful." Her eyes lifted quickly to meet Qui-Gon's. The Jedi stepped forward, holding her gaze. "Annie has been freed," he said. The boy's eyes went wide. "What?" Qui-Gon glanced down at him. "You are no longer a slave." Shmi Skywalker stared at the Jedi in disbelief, her worn face rigid, her eyes mirroring her shock and disbelief. "Mom! Did you hear that, Mom?" Anakin let out a whoop and jumped as high as he could manage. It wasn't possible, but he knew it was true, knew that it really was. He managed to collect himself. "Was that part of the prize, or what?" he asked, grinning. Qui-Gon grinned back. "Let's just say Watto learned an important lesson about gambling." Shmi Skywalker was shaking her head, still stunned by the news, still working it through. But the sight of Anakin's face made everything come clear for her in an instant. She reached out to him and pressed him to her. "Now you can make your dreams come true, Annie," she whispered, her face radiant as she touched his cheek. "You're free." She released him and turned to Qui-Gon, her eyes bright and expectant. "Will you take him with you? Is he to become a Jedi?" Anakin beamed at the suggestion, wheeling quickly on Qui-Gon, waiting for his answer. The Jedi Master hesitated. "Our meeting was not a coincidence. Nothing happens by accident. You are strong with the Force, Annie, but you may not be accepted by the Council." Anakin heard what he wanted to hear, blocking away everything else, seeing the possibilities that had fueled his hopes and dreams for so long come alive in a single moment. "A Jedi!" he gasped. "You mean I get to go with you in your starship and everything?" And be with Padme again. The thought struck him like a thunderbolt, wrapping him in such expectancy that it was all he could do to listen to what the Jedi Master said next. Qui-Gon knelt before the boy, his face somber. "Anakin, training to be a Jedi will not be easy. It will be a challenge, and if you succeed, it will be a hard life." Anakin shook his head quickly. "But it's what I want. It's what I've always dreamed about." He looked quickly to his mother. "Can I go, Mom?" But Qui-Gon drew him back with a touch. "This path has been placed before you, Annie. The choice to take it must be yours alone." The man and the boy stared at each other. A mix of emotions roiled through Anakin, threatening to sweep him away, but at their forefront was the happiness he felt at finding the thing he wanted most in all the world within reach, to be a Jedi, to journey down the space lanes of the galaxy. He glanced quickly at his mother, at her worn, accepting face, seeing in her eyes that in this, as in all things, she wanted what was best for him. His gaze returned to Qui-Gon. "I want to go," he said. "Then pack your things," the Jedi Master advised. "We haven't much time." "Yippee!" the boy shouted, jumping up and down, anxious already to be on his way. He rushed to his mother and hugged her as hard as he could manage, then broke away for his bedroom. He was almost to the doorway when he realized he had forgotten something. A chill swept through him as he wheeled back to Qui-Gon. "What about Mom?" he asked hurriedly, eyes darting from one to the other. "Is she free too? You're coming, aren't you, Mom?" Qui-Gon and his mother exchanged a worried glance, and he knew the answer before the Jedi spoke the words. I tried to free your mother, Annie, but Watto wouldn't have it. Slaves give status and lend prestige to their owners here on Tatooine. The boy felt his chest and throat tighten. But the money from selling... Qui-Gon shook his head. It's not nearly enough. There was a hushed silence, and then Shmi Skywalker came to her son and sat down in a chair next to him, taking both of his hands in hers and drawing him close. Her eyes were steady as she looked into his. "Annie, my place is here," she said quietly. "My future is here. It is time for you to let go of me. I cannot go with you." The boy swallowed hard. "I want to stay with you, then. I don't want things to change." She gave him an encouraging smile, her brow knitting. "You can't stop change any more than you can stop the suns from setting. Listen to your feelings, Annie. You know what's right." Anakin Skywalker took a long, slow breath and dropped his gaze, his head lowering. Everything was coming apart inside, all the happiness melting away, all the expectancy fading. But then he felt his mother's hands tighten over his own, and in her touch he found the strength he needed to do what he knew he must. Nevertheless, his eyes were brimming as he lifted his gaze once more. "I'm going to miss you so much, Mom," he whispered. His mother nodded. "I love you, Annie." She released his hands. "Now hurry." Anakin gave her a quick, hard hug and raced from the room, tears streaking his face. Once within his own room, Anakin stood staring about in sudden bewilderment. He was leaving, and he did not know when he would be coming back. He had never been anywhere but here, never known anyone but the people of Mos Espa and those who came to trade with them. He had dreamed about other worlds and other lives, about becoming a pilot of a mainline ship, and about becoming a Jedi. But the impact of what it actually meant to be standing at the threshold of an embarkation to the life he had so often wished for was overwhelming. He found himself thinking of the old spacer, telling him that he wouldn't be surprised at all if Anakin Skywalker became something more than a slave. He had wanted that more than anything, had hoped with all his heart for it to happen. But he had never, ever considered the possibility he would have to leave his mother behind. He wiped the tears from his eyes, fighting back new ones, hearing his mother's and Qui-Gon's voices from the other room. "Thank you," his mother was saying softly. "I will watch after him. You have my word." The Jedi's deep voice was warm and reassuring. "Will you be all right?" Anakin couldn't hear her reply, but then she said, "He was in my life for such a short time." She trailed off, distracted. Anakin forced himself to quit listening, and he began pulling clothes out and stuffing them into a backpack. He didn't have much, and it didn't take him long. He looked about for anything of importance he might have missed, and his eyes settled on C-3PO sitting motionless on the workbench. He walked over to the protocol droid and switched him on. C-3PO cocked his head and looked at the boy blankly. "Well, 3PO, I'm leaving," Anakin said solemnly. "I'm free. I'm going away in a starship." He didn't know what else to say. The droid cocked his head. "Well, Master Anakin, you are my maker, and I wish you well. Although I'd like it better if I were a little less naked." The boy sighed and nodded. "I'm sorry I wasn't able to finish you, 3PO, to give you coverings and all. I'm going to miss working on you. You've been a great pal. I'll make sure Mom doesn't sell you or anything. Bye." He snatched up his backpack and rushed from the room, hearing C-3PO call after him plaintively, "Sell me?"